So AI is obviously the hot topic right now, and there is a lot that we can unpack, both in terms of where it genuinely does add value to both compliance and security, but also where teams need to be a bit more cautious. So, Ashley, would you like to kick things off by giving us an overview of Drata's approach to AI and, in your experience, what the most impactful use cases are?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There is so much to talk about. I think really just starting at for years, compliance has really been a manual process. It's been a check the box exercise that felt like a burden that no one really wanted to talk about. It wasn't a business driver. It was just something you had to do. And that's how the teams were positioned, which would be such a hard position to be in as well. But really that's changing with AI and the usage of AI in the field. It's super exciting. At Drata, we really see AI as foundational. It's not an add-on. It's right now, if you're not doing it, you're missing the boat and you're falling behind. So we use it to eliminate really that repetitive, error-prone work, to free up teams to focus on what matters most, not the administrative tasks that have to be done. We need to be clear, they have to be done, but let's make it easier. So AI is not for removing people. I think that's what I want to emphasize the most. It's for empowering people and enhancing their processes and efficiencies. I talked to one customer recently that was gushing about the fact that they could really dedicate their time to more strategic projects, improve their business impact because the tedious things were really being removed from their plate with AI. And we at Drata, we really see the impact of this AI shift across several different key areas. I'd say the first is what we were built on. The foundation of Drata is that evidence collection and validation. Our platform, excuse me, makes this process really automated, continuous, and helps our customers to be audit ready. The second piece I would emphasize would be vendor assessments. Our AI is able to fill out questionnaires in an automated fashion, parse SOC 2 reports, and actually flag risks to businesses, saving teams from manually answering hundreds and hundreds of questions, everyone's most favorite thing to do. I'd say the third thing would be regulatory change tracking. So the AI can actually highlight what's new and what needs updating. These standards are changing and being enhanced all the time, and we want to ensure customers are always current with evolving regulations. And I think maybe the fourth thing would be accelerating security reviews. And this is huge with SafeBase's AI questionnaire assistance. You can dramatically reduce the time spent on answering security questionnaires. Again, everyone's least favorite thing in the world to do, so that you can close deals more quickly. And that's where you start to be able to show, hey, we're driving the business. We are a necessary team to ensure that we're moving quickly and bringing in that revenue. The use of AI is really how companies are moving from reactive box checking to that proactive trust building. And companies that embrace the shift aren't just going to excel in their audits. They're actually going to win deals, expand markets, and build customer loyalty from the start.
Thanks, Ashley. I think that's really interesting, particularly the point that you mentioned there about doing more with less. So, from Intruder's perspective, we launched Greg AI this year. So, Greg AI is a co-pilot that acts like a security analyst for those lean teams. So, helping them do more with less people can help in many ways here. So that could be remediation guidance, it could be managing targets, it could be scheduling scans, but it could even be things like prioritizing issues in context. So what I mean by that is, for example, if we find a critical issue on a staging environment, it can flag whether that really needs to be treated as critical. I think from our side, so what's really been the most exciting is seeing how customers use it. So one team had a full conversation with Greg in Spanish. So they were asking it to summarize vulnerabilities for non-English stakeholders. I think from our side, what we've seen is it's already saving teams hours of manual work, and it is becoming that trusted teammate that helps to accelerate security. Thinking about the flip side of this automation, how can teams strike the right balance between using AI and also making sure that there's that right level of human oversight in compliance?
Yeah, I think that's so important. And I know I kind of sound like a broken record, but the key takeaway is AI nor automation are going to replace compliance and security professionals. Really, AI is going to empower them and streamline those painful, tedious processes, and giving them the ability to focus on the strategic work. It shifts their role from more reactive compliance to proactive trust leadership. I really think it actually elevates them to be leaders in the business in a new way. The team I was talking about earlier even noted that they could now show their go-to-market teams. They aren't always just taking things or asking for things like policy approvals and trainings and screenshots of this and that. They're also giving things to the business. They're giving those teams deliverables to help them close deals. And so it's making them really a new team, something that they've never been before because they were so bogged down with those tedious tasks. And really, this transformation happens when the AI takes on that manual burden. Compliance sort of changes from a tedious manual work process to more strategic initiatives that are focused on building trust. And we know, I mean, trust is a word we all throw around so often now, but in the current economy, the current landscape, that's important. People are worried about the latest breach with X and the security issue with Y. So we need to build that trust to continue to build relationships with other companies. We use a we use automation for high volume tasks like collecting evidence, providing real-time view of your compliance posture, monitoring, and risk detection, kind of what you were talking about as well, by really surfacing issues or anomalies in real time. And this is where the human element becomes completely irreplaceable. It's more human in the loop is what we've been calling it internally, where a human decides on the best remediation plan when the AI actually flags an issue. And again, I can't emphasize enough that human is needed. That will not change. But let's use the humans for the key translation of the information detected. I think this combination of speed from automation and critical human judgment is what creates a more efficient and robust compliance program. And ultimately, it enables that shift from being a cost center to actually a business growth enabler.
Absolutely. I think from a cybersecurity perspective, our answers are completely aligned here. So we see AI as incredibly powerful, but we don't see it as a silver bullet. So it can accelerate the workflows, but it still needs that human oversight to make sure that the advice is accurate, but also appropriate for your environment as well. So, for example, with Greg AI, you can walk a team through how to validate a vulnerability, but that final confirmation does need to come from the engineer. I think overall at Intruder, our approach is to make AI that trusted assistant. So not a replacement. It's about cutting through that noise, saving time. But like you mentioned, it's just ensuring that security decisions stay grounded in human judgment. I like your human in the loop analogy there as well. I think one thing while we're talking about this, it's actually really important to say that cybersecurity has a much lower tolerance for error than areas like marketing, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why our mindset with AI isn't about taking humans out of the loop, but it's helping teams to really just do more with less.